Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing great, and I hope you all are having a great 4th of July, and if you're not American, then... well, I mean, it's still the 4th of July, but it's just not a celebratory day for you. Whatever. Happy 250th anniversary to the USA. Here's to 250 more. If humanity even lasts that long. Because based on the tweets I found that we're gonna go over in today's video, I think we are actively devolving as a species, and we might not survive the next century simply due to lack of intelligence. Now, in case you missed it, 2 days ago, I made a video making fun of PlayStation fanboys who were defending the fact that Sony is officially killing physical gaming, at least on their own systems. And in the last few videos I've made talking about this issue, I've made it a point that this is almost a universally united cause. Almost everybody hates this decision. Sony is still getting ratioed into oblivion. Everybody is still talking about this, and PlayStation has still not posted anything on their Twitter account since this announcement 3 days ago. It has now been 3 days of dead silence, which I don't remember how long it took for them to start being active again after they went silent because everybody got pissed at them for shutting down Bluepoint, but I think it's safe to say we're gonna be breaking that silence record here. And honestly, their silence just speaks volumes. They know people don't want this. They know this is a scummy move, and yet they're going through with it anyway. Like, why? At this point, it genuinely just feels like they're doing this to be evil. Like, this is some Dr. Evil or Skeletor stuff, where they're just doing bad things because they're the bad guy. Look, I try not to go too much into the whole narrative of, oh, corporations are evil, because at the end of the day, you know, there is a reason I like to think that they're making most decisions, even if they negatively impact consumers. But this just feels outright evil. Like, this feels almost on the same level as Nintendo just shutting down charities because those charities didn't get their permission to use their game or whatever. Anyway, I made the video talking about PlayStation fanboys a few days ago, and this is the follow-up because if you can believe it, I found even more. And so I figured we could take some time today, especially since I don't have anything else going on, but clearly you don't either because you're watching this, to point and laugh at consumers who are actively okay with the death of options for consumers, because as we all know, options are such a terrible thing. We couldn't possibly have that. Anyway, real quick before we get into this, if you keep coming back to the channel and you enjoy the videos and you haven't subbed yet, then consider subscribing. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this. First off, this guy just posts a meme saying, Valve stopping PC physical games 15 years ago versus Sony stopping physical games in 2028. And it's blind Bart versus Bart being super observant. Hey, idiot, you want to know why Valve stopped making physical games? It's because the hardware stopped supporting discs. This is like if PlayStation does commit to being all digital, like no more disc drives, and then somebody got mad at Capcom for not making a physical version of Resident Evil 10 or whatever. They are a third party. Steam is not a computer brand. Sure, they make their own devices, but they never like made their own line of desktops or laptops or anything. You're getting mad at a company who doesn't make hardware, or at least didn't back then, for not making physical copies of games when all PCs had shifted away from that. Sony, on the other hand, are the ones making the consoles. It is entirely within their control whether they keep physical games around or not as an option. Why would Valve keep making physical copies of their games if modern computers for the last like decade and a half have not had disk drives? This is just such a false equivalence, and you're either talking in bad faith or you just genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Although it honestly could be both. Like, console fanboys can't even pretend to have an argument anymore. How is a group as lowly as console fanboys falling off? I didn't even think that was possible, but whatever, next tweet. I really don't give a F about discs. I'm a grown-ass man. My collection of discs ended with my teenage years. Tech is growing and it was inevitable for digital to take over discs. That gaming chair you sit on 24/7, get up, go get a job, and pay yo Wi-Fi/internet monthly as a responsible grown man or woman. Stop crying about disc old Fs. Okay, so apparently you just cannot like discs if you're above a certain age. This dude says he's a grown-ass man and that's why he doesn't care about discs anymore. So what is it? Once you hit 18 years old, you're just not allowed to care about physical media? And yeah, tech is growing. That doesn't mean digital has to replace physical. They can both simultaneously exist to give customers more options for how they want to consume their favorite media. This argument is just so dumb, like, oh, digital's bigger than physical, therefore get rid of physical. No! Why don't we keep both around as options? Especially when you consider that physical games are the only form of competition on console marketplaces, and that without them, the only way you can buy your digital games is through the PlayStation Store, meaning Sony has complete and total control over pricing, and you have to pay whatever they say. You have no alternatives that would make them want to compete for your money. And then, dude, how did we manage to make an argument about the death of physical media about being broke? This dude said, get a job so you can pay for internet. Newsflash, dude, almost everybody has internet. But guess what? Some people live in areas where it's not as good, even if they do have a lot of money to pay for it. And some people just want the option to exist, again, for the sake of competition. It's GTA fanboys all over again. You don't want to pay $100 for GTA? Then you're broke. Oh, you don't want physical media to go away? You're obviously broke and can't afford internet. Just look at this, for example. This is my internet speed, and I still have a problem with physical media going away. Do you see how those two things aren't correlated at all? Again, could that be the issue that somebody has with it? Yes, absolutely. But for most people, this is just about having options. All right, next up, this guy's replying to somebody who's telling people cancel your PS Plus subscriptions, cancel your GTA 6 pre-orders, all that stuff. He says, I will not cancel my PS Plus sub. I did pre-order GTA 6. I love physical, but if that's where PS wants to go, I'm okay with it. Those not happy, just don't buy it. There we go. We got another one. We're filling out the bingo card here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not happy, just don't buy it. Okay. I'm not buying it. I don't know what it is in this situation. I'm assuming you mean like the PS6. But yeah, I'm not buying it. Anyway, back to complaining, because this is complete BS. And dude, there is no way you love physical if you're okay with them doing this. You should be up in arms pissed about this if you truly love physical. Even if you don't love physical, like me, I don't love physical. I don't have any insane attachment to it, but you should still be upset about it. Or at the very least, you shouldn't be defending it. You should never be okay with options being taken away from you. And people like you who claim to love physical, yet are completely fine with the death of physical gaming, are exactly what are wrong with this industry. And telling people to just not buy it is the ultimate cop-out. Like, wow, thank you so much for this revolutionary idea. This does not solve the issue in any way. Anyway, next up, this guy says, it's okay to buy digital games only. It's okay to buy physical games only. It's okay to buy both. It's not okay to not have a choice. Yes, thank you. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like me, for example, I'm a PC gamer. I have been all digital for the last 5.5 years. And I still take issue with this situation, because guess what? The option should always be there. But not according to this guy. This guy says it's not okay to buy physical. Like, grow up already and ask your mom for her credit card, losers. I'm sorry. Who are you to decide that it's not okay to buy physical? What is wrong with that? No. Genuine question. What is wrong with buying games physically? I want to know. Also, grow up and ask your mom for her credit card? Sir, I don't know how to tell you this, but most people who buy physical games still do it with a credit card, because a lot of people get their physical games through Amazon, and in order to purchase something from Amazon, you need to have a credit or a debit card. Unless you have a gift card, but in most cases, people are using their credit cards. Genuinely, what are you talking about? Like, okay, guys, apparently it's not okay for you to buy physical discs. You there right now, do you have physical games at your house? Do you not want physical media to die? Well, too bad. You're not allowed to have those games. That is not okay. You should be ashamed of yourself. How could you possibly sit there and have a preference to consume media in a different way than this guy? You truly make me sick. In fact, you know what? You should be grateful to Sony for getting rid of physical media, because it's not okay, and they're taking a step to make sure that ends. All right, next up, this guy's quote tweeting a meme that says that everybody's gonna go to PC after the all-digital PlayStation, and he says, tell me how the F this makes sense. Obviously referring to the fact that PC is all digital, and oh, if you care about physical media so much, why would you go to PC? Because there's actual digital competition on PC. There are dozens of storefronts, each with advantages and disadvantages. You have the Epic Games Game Store, Battle.net. Steam is obviously the most popular because it's considered the best by a lot of people. If you want true digital ownership, you have GOG, where you don't have to worry about licenses or DRM or anything like that. Not to mention, GOG actively encourages you to make physical backups of your digital games that you buy from them. If you are going to be forced into an all-digital future, you might as well be on PC, because at least there you have options and true digital ownership. That is why that makes sense. But you know what? Actually, I just saw something that makes complete sense. Zoom and enhance. GTA 6 profile picture. Alright, there you go. I should not have been expecting much brain activity from this guy. Alright, this next one is a 4-parter, but we're only going to read the first 2 parts because those are the only ones relevant to this video and the only ones I can actually properly respond to. So he starts off by saying, I understand the frustration, but let's be realistic. This isn't just a Sony decision. It's the natural evolution of technology. Gaming has evolved from cartridges to CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray, and now digital. Okay, but again, why can digital and physical not exist side by side? This isn't like CDs to DVDs to Blu-ray where it's all still physical, but you have to upgrade the physical disc for more storage capacity and whatnot. Digital and physical in games have existed alongside for, what, over 2 decades at this point? There's no reason to stop now. Unless, of course, you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation who wants full control over what people, quote-unquote, own. And that's exactly what's happening here. Sony just wants control. There's no other reason for them to do this besides that. Also, name me another industry where physical media is dead now. Vinyls have made a massive resurgence recently in music. DVDs and Blu-rays are still made for movies. This is pretty much just a Sony decision. Like, they don't have to do this, but they're hoping that people will be gullible enough to think, oh, well, this is the end time for physical media. We're going all digital anyway, so this was inevitable. Maybe it is inevitable, but it didn't have to happen now. And we can always delay the inevitability by pushing back against it. Like, we don't have to just sit here and take it. But he continues on. He says, today's games are bigger, more connected, and often receive updates, DLC, and expansions long after release. In many cases, the disc is no longer the complete game. It's simply the starting point. Okay, but why can't we still have that starting point? Like, yes, there's going to be digital-only DLCs that get released. That doesn't mean we should get rid of the base game being on a disc. Also, games often receive updates. You do realize that one of the advantages of physical media, where the full game is on the disc, is that you can avoid those updates if you want to. Like, especially for single-player games, if you want to play the game in its 1.0 state, pop the disc in and disconnect your console from the internet. That's actually something I've seen people do in Dark Souls 3 challenge runs when they need to like access a glitch or something that gets patched out later. They disconnect their console from the internet and just put the disc in and they're on the 1.0 version. And by today's games are bigger, I'm assuming you mean they take up more space. Okay, so then put them on multiple discs. We have been doing this now for over a decade. GTA 5 on the Xbox 360 came on 2 discs. Red Dead Redemption 2 came on 2 discs. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 was on 2 discs. The game being too big is not an excuse. You know what? I'm actually doing some research right now. It looks like multi-disc games actually go back into the 90s. That's insane. I actually didn't know that. So yeah, there you go. It's even less valid. We have been doing multi-disc releases for like 3 decades at this point, even before digital was an option. This is not an excuse. Anyway, let's end on one that genuinely had me shaking my head when I first read it. This guy says, if they ban you from PSN, you lose your digital library. Look up the difference between licensed and owned. And this dude quote tweets and says, if you get hit by a car and die, you lose your digital library too. What? There is no way we are trying to equate someone getting banned from PSN and losing all their games because they were forced to go all digital to dying and not being able to play video games anymore because you're dead. This tweet doesn't even make sense because if you get hit by a car and die, you don't lose your digital library. The library is still there. It's just you can't access it because you're dead. Unless PlayStation bans you when you die, which honestly, given their other policies, wouldn't even surprise me that much. Like I said before, we've just given up on arguments at this point. It's just, oh, well, if you die, then you can't play video games anymore. Which, I'm not even lying, that was the argument that some dude was making for why GTA 6 should be $100. I remember it. I think it was the dude I covered in that one video, Marlon, or whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure he said, like, you should be grateful to be alive to witness GTA 6, so why is $100 a big deal? We haven't gone off the deep end. We've gone into the Mariana trench. Thankfully, I know how to swim, so I'm getting the hell out of here. With all that being said, guys, that is all I've got for this video. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Sony will reverse this decision, or do you think that they'll try to get away with it still? Do you think they're just gonna, like, come back to Twitter and just act like nothing happened and try to move on? Because I don't know if they can. Like, closing Blue Point was one thing, but this is literally industry changing. Either way, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, join us every Friday night on the gaming channel for gaming streams, and consider becoming a channel member if you want Discord access and awesome emotes, and I will catch you all next time.